with bilateral impacted medial. So bilateral means both sides, medial means deep impacted towards the eardrum. Earwax, they generally get their earwax removed yearly and their last appointment was due last March. They normally have their ears irrigated, so water at the local GP. Because of the pandemic, a lot of GP surgeries not offering irrigation services anymore, and two, actually not even seeing patients face to face and trying to do a lot of stuff remotely. So this patient's well overdue. This is the patient's left ear. The wax is quite soft and really deeply impacted, so I did ask the patient whether they had used a cotton bud. The patient did admit that they were getting a bit of itchiness, a bit poking in their ears. You can see there's a bit of surface wax on the ear canal wall. One of the questions that I wanted to often get asked is, why do I go for the middle part of the main body of the earwax? Now, sometimes if removing the wax on the edge of the ear canal will help facilitate remove the main bulk of the wax, the body of the wax, then we often try and remove the wax on the canal wall. But in this case, for me, I can tell that it's removing the wax on the surface of the ear canal itself won't really contribute or help or assist or facilitate the main bulk. So for me, as a clinical ear care practitioner, my main objective is to relieve the patient of their symptoms. Even if there's a bit of wax around the edge of the canal wall, that's not going to impede or impact the patient's hearing. So I want to go for the problem area, and that's the main bulk. But in some cases, so it is a good question to get asked, that's many people ask. In some cases though, we have to remove the wax, especially if it's dead skin that's adhered to the wax of the canal wall. If we peel that off on the sides first, that can facilitate the main lump or body of wax that's impacted. In this case, it wasn't going to, so I just wanted to focus on the main body. In a moment, you will see I do quickly skirt around the edge. So this wax, because of the consistency, it's hard to get a suction grip. You can see this Zolm suction probe was actually imprinted a mark within the soft wax. The patient had been using drops already on this side, but you'll see in a moment I will put some drops and say, whilst I'm now just wandering around the edge, but you'll see in a moment this wax, this peel of the canal wall, it stops here, and it's going to help in any way remove the main body wax. So that's actually a good illustration. So I've just put some drops in, some olive drops in just to bind it. Now, on this ear, the patient had already been using the drops. The right ear was also very blocked. However, the patient didn't use any drops in the right ear, and that's because the patient reports a possible perforation, so a hole on the eardrum, so a tympanic perforation. They weren't sure because they said that one specialist in the past said that she had a perforation, the other said that she didn't. If there was any risk or possibility she had a perforation, then she shouldn't have had ear irrigation, because that's one of the contraindications. If you've got a tympanic perforation, you shouldn't perform irrigation. So I wasn't sure whether the patient had or not, but you'll see in a moment when we use the left side. I was trying to avoid using drops, because if you've got a tympanic perforation, you want to really avoid using or putting any drops in the ear, because that can then enter the middle ear, so the space behind the ear and then cause infection in the middle ear, we want to avoid. So on this side, the patient was very adamant that she didn't have a perforation, so we put some more drops. The patient's been using drops anyway. This side, see the oil has really helped. It's lubricated the canal wall. It's binded this plug of wax together in a solid mass, making it easy to extract. The patient's ear canal entrance is quite narrow, so you can see some of the wax got stuck as I was retrieving it. There's the patient's tympanic membrane. There is some wax in the annulus region, so the annulus region is where we're going now, so that's at the bottom of the eardrum. It's also an area called the inferior, so inferior means the bottom, recess, so there's recesses around the eardrums, that's because the ear canal actually narrows about half a centimetre away from the eardrum, and it expands and protrudes back outwards, and that causes little crevices trenches, caves, recesses. So just delicately using a fine end tip just to remove that wax from the annulus region or the inferior recess. There is also some wax in the anterior recess. You can see that there. There's some wax on the left-hand side. I'm just approaching it with a fine end tip, but I realised I would need to bend the fine end tip because it would come in contact with the bony part. So I've just gone to pars lucida. So the pars lucida is the top part of the eardrum. We can also call this the attic. Another name for this region where we just got some soft wax is the that superior is the top anterior quadrant. So when we're looking at the eardrum, the superior anterior quadrant, you could classify that as being northwest if you're comparing to a compass. So I've just got the fine end tip and I've just bent the distal lens, the bit where we actually suck it from. I've just bent that bit to curve around the bony part of the ear canal, so I don't want it to come in contact with the bony part of the ear canal. So you can see there's a bit more of a gap there compared to before. This wax is quite lodged in the anterior recess. You will see that I managed to extract this slowly but surely. So obviously whenever you work near the eardrum, you do have to have a steady hand. The eardrum, the thickness of the eardrum is approximately 0.1 millimeters. It's very thin, very delicate. So I'm happy with that. Just mopping up near the entrance now, so just resorted back to the full zone suction probe. Create a surface area. So with the fine end gauge, the internal diameter of the suction tube itself, the lumen, that's 1.27 millimeters as opposed to this old suction probe, which is 2 millimeters lumen, so the internal diameter of the suction probe. So it's a bit, almost double the surface area. So it's just perfect for soft wax like this near the entrance on the cartilaginous portion of the ear canal, where we can make a bit of contact with the ear canal because the cartilaginous portion of the ear canal is semi-sensitive, so we can apply some pressure. It's made up of a thick layer of skin, 1 millimeter in thickness, of muscle, and then cartilage, which is malleable. It's flexible. Whereas the inner 2/3 of the ear canal is a very thin layer of skin, measuring 0.1 or less millimeters, and it's directly attached to bone. So there's no buffering there. There's no fatty tissue or muscle. So if you do come in contact with the bone part of the ear canal, it's not a nice place to put into the patient. So really happy with that. Bit of staining, bit of residual wax around the edge, but that's all insignificant really. We've got the main bulk out. This is the patient's left ear. Now both ear canal entrances are very narrow, so I was having to retract to widen the ear canal entrance to insert the endoscope. Now this is the ear where the patient wasn't sure whether they've got a perforation. I had my doubts because it's very hard to believe that a clinical ear care specialist would perform ear irrigation knowingly that the patient's got a perforation. But the patient has had conflicting advice. One factor, she has got a perforation, the other said she hasn't. So ideally we want to be putting olive oil drops in straight away here because you can see the wax is very soft, it's gooey and mushy. Olive oil would really help to bind this, but in the back of my mind I just wanted to persevere for a few minutes just to see if I can remove this soft gooey wax without putting any drops in, just in case the patient has got a perforation. Just to let you know, it was a false alarm in the end. You see that the patient, well, they may have had a perforation before, that's plausible and it's healed, but there was no perforation today. And the way I use the drops today is slightly different. So putting drops in it to assist in the procedure, something that I actually developed myself, and I wasn't taught that. It's something that I decided to try. It worked really well, and when we train our delegates, when I train people in the procedure, I do advise them to use the drops as much as possible, wherever it is possible and it's safe to do, because it really does help with the procedure. And normally we would soak the ear for a few minutes and then drain the ear for a few minutes so the drops comes out of the ear. But in this case, I use the drops very differently. So just using a Jobson ball, because it's a soft gooey wax, it's able to get that on the cartilaginous portion of the ear canal, just to get as much out as possible, safely as possible before I do use the drops. Because at this stage, remember, I still don't know whether the patient has got a tympanic perforation or not. So So when I do eventually put the drops in this ear, I tilted the patient's head over to the side so the drops could penetrate. And I went immediately back in with the suction probe. I didn't allow time for it to soak. I just went in with the drops in. And the reason for that, I didn't want the drops, if at all possible, to seep through the side of the wax and enter a perforation if one was present. So I was trying to use the olive oil drops live in the procedure whilst I was physically trying to remove the wax. So the drops went in. I was using the suction probe that was sucking the wax out and the oil at the same time, and it worked really well actually. You can see that now. It's a bit more blurry, you will notice that as well, because we didn't drain the ear, we're literally sucking the oil back out of the ear after we've inserted it. It does blur the tip camera a bit, the tip of the endoscope you can see, but it was still fine, I still managed to remove it. You can see attached to this soft gooey wax is some keratin, some soft, you can see this layer of skin on the surface. Keratin acts as double-sided sticky tape. It sticks to the canal wall, but it also sticks to the wax. This is a very mushy, horrible type of wax, like wet mud. I really don't enjoy this type of wax because you just can't vacuum it honestly. If you use a Johnson horn like I did before, if you use it a bit deep more further in, you're just squashing this and spreading this soft gooey wax like you would spread butter or margarine on the slice of toast. It's got that consistency like butter. So I've just put the drops in and immediately I've just gone straight back in. And then you can see, as I said, it's a bit blurry at first because we are sucking the oil out at the same time. So there we are. Just going in and just going to the base of the ear canal. Just trying to lift this upwards. You can see it's coming up the base of the floor of the ear canal wall. Normally we would let it soak for 5 minutes or probably 3 or 4 minutes, and then I would get the patient to turn the other way with the tissue underneath the ear to drain this oil. The reason why we drain it is so it doesn't blur the screen, so you can see what we're doing, but in this case the patient's head is still tilted over, the drops are still penetrating into the ear. I didn't want to give it an opportunity to soak, I just wanted to lubricate, that's the reason why I used it. Lubricate the side of the canal walls, lubricate the internal suction probe so the wax does travel up, because with this type of soft, gooey, wet, mud type wax it can block the zone of suction probe. So I've got a big lump of wax out here, but it's trapped at the entrance. The ear canal at the entrance narrows, so I'm really wriggling this through. Her ear canal being narrow is plausibly one of the reasons why the patient gets a natural wax. The wax trying to migrate out of the ear, it gets trapped near the entrance because it's really narrow. The consistency of the wax as well, she's got a very wet, loose, mud type of wax, so that doesn't really tend to migrate very well. You can see there's the tympanic membrane, there's no perforation, there's no hole, so ended up being a false alarm, but rather be safe than sorry. You don't want the patient developing unnecessary ear infection where it was avoidable. So a bit of wax on the roof of the ear canal, so I've just attached a fine end tip again. Just whilst we're there, let's just pop this up. We've done so well, we've got a lot of wax out, it's really safe to remove this. The patient very still, just some wax on the base of the ear canal. As well, we're going to go back. So you can see there's a bit of a trench here where this piece of wax is. The ear canal kind of dips inwards, there's a narrowing here, and it protrudes back outwards and it narrows again. So just right near the entrance now, and that's, we know we're at the entrance, the hair strands always located on the outer part of the canal, the outer centimetre. That's where all the hair follicles go. The hair follicles go